Back to Matchday Live. So that is half time. We are in the Etihad Stadium, but we're on our own. It's very nice and quiet in here today because the game is, of course, at the King Power Stadium. So that is 0-0 just now. And out of interest, it is 0-0 everywhere in the Premier League right now. Football's boring today. No goals anywhere. No, I'm joking. That game was anything but boring. The first half of our game, absolutely loads of chances for City. Oh no, I've just had some terrible news. Terrible news. There is a goal in the Premier League and somebody scored it on his second debut for some club. That's all we'll say. Right, let's have a chat about this City game. So, loads of chances for City. Right now, David, it seems like Kasper Schmeichel is keeping us at bay.
We bigged him up too much, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, way too much.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think, a wonderful performance first half by City, lacking just the goal. And as you say, Kasper Schmeichel was the main protagonist in that. I mean, wonderful performance by him. But also, I have to just quickly mention the Ederson save and the bravery involved in that. So both goalkeepers, I think we're getting big pats on the back in the change room. Yeah,
so that was after about 7-8 minutes, within the first 10 minutes. And Ederson saves, puts his sort of whole body, dives on the floor and takes a foot from Harvey Barnes to his face. Kyle Walker is screaming, but the game continues and Ederson jumps up. When the game stops, we see he's covered in blood.
Yes.
So the man is hard as nails.
Yeah, he's tough as nails. And to be honest, it could have been easy for him to just stay on the floor. But I think sometimes, you know, like the game should have stopped, in my opinion, but the ref's not stopped it. So you're left with that decision. Do I get up now? Do I have to get up? And he's probably getting up, can't really see where the ball is, doesn't know his bearings. But that's the type of person you want behind you because they're going all out to try and stop the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for that all day long.
Is that part of the reason why you love him so much, Dave?
So when City signed him, I watched videos on him, and one of them was when he was playing for Benfica. He's dived at someone's feet, brave as a lion. Now, I'm not suggesting anyone at home should do what he does, but this is what he does. There was, soon after that, the incident with Sadio Mane. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's the type of guy he is. And he's proved himself once again, because if you don't show that kind of bravery, Leicester are 1-0 up at the moment. And City are more than in this game, because in part because of what Ederson does. So he's still my hero, even if he laughs at me playing up front.
Yeah, so huge amount of possession to us, huge amount of shots on targets, shots by us, but we just haven't managed to convert it yet. But a few chances to mention, though, Nedum, specifically. Bernardo had a good chance saved by Schmeichel, and there was that free kick as well that looked like they've really been working on the training ground on it, and Grealish, it just tipped over. So we definitely have had the chances.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. The opportunities have been there, but also, for as good as Kasper is playing, I think their defenders are throwing themselves at the ball as well. There've been quite a good few number of blocks that have gone on in that first half. I wouldn't necessarily like to back them to think they can continue that for another 45, but they're showing good level of commitment. But the relationships are starting to look nice for City. Gundogan seeing that spot for Grealish, but to add more context to that, it needs more than just those two players for that to work. You need the other people to be able to do their jobs and distract people in certain areas. So sometimes when you see someone in space, it's usually because of a lot of other people as opposed to just that. But that was a nice play. They've created lots of little opportunities. I think if the ball just bounces the right way one time, I think they'll definitely get the goal. And if they do, I'm expecting an even stronger performance from them.
Yeah, because like you say, there was a good few occasions where it was shot block, block, and it was great. I mean, it's great to watch, although frustrating that it didn't go in. But surely, can Leicester keep that up for the whole 90 minutes?
Well, yeah, I mean, at times it looked like a school playground, didn't it, with the bodies flying all over the place. But I think, again, because Leicester made so many changes in defence, there's that lack of coordination there, which is causing them the problems. And arguably, there seems to be, I think, with Man City, your analysis on that defence would be completely different to what you're having to deal with. So therefore, there's a little bit of, how can I put it, hesitancy in the shooting. These players are quality players, and I think even when we look back at the highlights, you'll say perhaps a better shot would have produced a better result. But for the sake of saying the same thing when Man City played at Tottenham, Pep should be the happier manager because of the chances, providing they go out second half a little bit better on the finishing, beating Kasper, who has been playing very well. I'm still happy. I'm still happy with what I'm seeing.
Good. Yes, I am. I am too. Maybe a little bit of nerves after the Spurs game, but no, I'm still happy. Are you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
There's 45 more minutes.
Yes.
They've got a great team on the field and great people that can come on off the bench as well. So I think City probably have more cards in terms of being able to deal with this particular situation. Like that, now, that doesn't guarantee anything. But think of the opposite. If maybe they didn't have people on the bench and they didn't really have the team that they had now who've just come off scoring 10 goals in the last 2 games, you know. It's just, as a City fan, you always want to feel negative, but the fact is, and the reality is, like, it's not the worst. It's not the worst gig in the world, is it?
Yeah, I think the reason I mentioned the Tottenham game is because I felt happy with City's performance, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as this one. So I'm more confident about this. It's just, as I say, a little bit better with the finishing. Of course, one of them goes in, and the fact that Casper's making the saves as opposed to Lloris, who hadn't made a save in that first half.
Yeah, true.
You can't stop the goalie from playing well.
How do you do that? How could we do that?
How could we? Well, again, just a little bit better finishing, but we're picking at fine margins here. But that's what we need because Leicester are a decent outfit.
And you're so right, by the way, Nedum. I wonder if any point in my life that kind of.
If you live through what came before,
yes.
there's always a bit of like a sort of nagging doubt in the back of your mind going forward.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we've had some questions coming through for you guys. So you're welcome to send in your questions for our guests. You can do it using our new WhatsApp, or you can tweet us as well. Just use #ManCity. The number for the WhatsApp is on the bottom of the screen. We picked out some questions that came in during the first half for you both. So first one for you, Nedum, and it's come from Mark, and he's WhatsApped us, and it says, quick question, who was the hardest player you ever had to mark?
Firstly, hello, Mark. I think, that's such a tough one. That's such a tough one. But I think just for the emotion around it, I'll say one of my first starts was playing at Highbury against primetime Arsenal. So I'm going to have to say Thierry Henry. That was surreal. Yeah, that was really, really weird.
You had to mark him.
We drew the game 1-1 actually, but that was very, very surreal because everything I'd seen on TV. Because I loved the game and like Arsenal were everyone's second team, and then. There's Thierry now. He's just running straight at me. Let me figure that one out. Yeah.
Who was faster, you or him?
Looking back, I'd probably say I was faster at that time because I wasn't that long away from like when I used to run track and so on. But football, running on grass is a different thing, as David will tell you after seeing Soccer Aid with the fastest man alive on grass.
We've got a question for you as well, David, and it's come from just YW. They just put YW, and it says, please ask David James to give some tips to Edison to play outfield.
Well, YW, great question. I would ask Edison to watch some video footage, but he's already done that and he laughed. So I'm not sure if he's far more accomplished an outfield player than I am. So I just want to be like you, just cheer him doing something outfield.
And a question from Asher OP for you as well has said, please ask David, come back to Kerala Blasters FC. Is that pronounced right?
Kerala Blasters.
Kerala.
While I've been watching this first half, I have been talking to Nedum about India. I didn't mention Kerala Blasters specifically too much, but he will know loads about it in the second half. And I'm not saying I would never go back.
Oh, wow. That's a right exclusive.
We were talking about Lallana. Kerala Blasters was the only team I didn't save a penalty for, and Lallana was the only player to score against me.
From what I know of our Indian fans, they are absolutely like crazy for City, passionate. Is that what it was like when you were there?
Absolutely. 70,000 we had at one game. It was unbelievable. I talk about this all the time so I love my time in Kerala.
Love it. And the last one for you, Nedum, just now is, what was your favourite ever City match? And it doesn't say, and that question's come from Noah Pierce. Sorry, Noah. It doesn't say played in or watched, but your favourite ever City match as a player or a fan?
I'll have to do it as a player, and I'll say it was in 2008 was fun when we won at Old Trafford. Because we were, like I said, the second half of the season was a disaster. So we're going to Old Trafford and everybody's talking about how we're going to get destroyed. And it's a big emotional day for them and so on. Walks off the field, beat them 2-1. And I remember there was a fan who ran like about 100 metres around the stadium to come and give it to us. And I was like, yeah, all the best, mate. Have a good week.
Yes. I was there at that game. Of course, it was the anniversary of the Munich air disaster, and Benjani scored.
Yes. Benjani and Darius for sale.
Benjani, oh, wow. Good time, good memory. I love that. So that was your questions. You're welcome to send in any more, and I can ask David and Nedum at full time as well. So you can use our WhatsApp or you can tweet us. Right, we're going to have a quick look at our cryptic city. So this is our new game for this season. You need to have a little look at all of the pictures, and you need to work out, is this a City player from the past or the present. Who is the City player? So we have had some guesses coming in. Have a little look now. You can tweet us using hashtag Man City. So far, Pete B256 on Twitter, you've got it right. Claire McKinnon, Cloggy Mac on Twitter, you've got it right too. Well done. Tweet us in if you think you know who it is. And I think Nedum and David have got it. I think they both know who it is. Although I think they're slightly guessing because they don't know a couple of the clues. But
just a couple.
Yeah, you can work it out by putting them together. So at full time, we'll tell you who that is. So just before we go to the second half, we're just waiting for the players to come back out. Obviously, we've got some incredible players on the bench there. Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden back on the bench. Are you expecting to see any sort of changes in the second half, David?
I want to see Phil Foden back on. Oh, he's one of my favourite players. I'm spoilt for choice, aren't I? But I want to see Phil Foden. We haven't seen him for a long time, it seems, and I think he could be the key just to unlocking that Leicester defence.
And from you, Nedum, what are you expecting in the second half?
I think the changes will be key. I think the players who are on the bench will be desperate to get out on the field. You know, these are winners and these are guys who want to come out and try and make a positive impact because who knows, you might play the next game, Champions League. So I'm expecting big things from whoever comes on off the bench.
Brilliant, thank you. So that's the gentleman's thoughts about the first half. We'll be back here at full time as well, of course, where we'll be asking more questions. We'll be doing analysis. We'll tell you who the cryptic City clue, who the player is. You can listen to commentary. The best place for that is the Manchester City app with Alistair Mann. And if you're not watching it, you can see the full match on City Plus later on this evening. So enjoy the second half and we will see you at full time.